What's up, guys? It's Sam and Taylor.
And we want you to put your shoes on,
Pop open that energy drink,
and go. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Sam.
We are so excited to do this episode. We're going all things college.
We are. It's going to be a massive throwback for me, at least.
And we got two different perspectives, okay? As you guys know, or maybe you didn't. I'm 21. Sam is 24. Fun fact of the day, if you didn't know that.
A lot of people actually don't know our age. I get asked on the daily basis how old I am, and I'm like, I thought I made it pretty clear, like how old I was.
No, I think it's just confusing because, like, I think people know how old I am.
Yeah.
Because, like, recently 21 is, like, a thing.
Yeah.
So they're like, wait, how old are you?
Yeah. No, I get asked, like, on every Q&A that I do, I always get asked what my age is. And I'm like, well, I answered it every time. I'm always like 24. Or a lie.
If people think that we're the same age and you're like, throwback to college, and people are like, wait
a second, what's going on here? I know. Snapchat, I have so many memories right now that I've been just like going through because obviously we went, like, it's September, so everyone's going back to school. So like the peak of college, at least for me, was like the first few weeks back at school because everyone's rallying. You're excited to see each other again. So like my Snap memories are making me emotional.
Yeah, well, my college experience is basically still going on, and what I had at my university when I went was absolutely tragic. But we'll get into that in detail. But first, a little bit about us. No, before a little bit about us.
Yeah,
no. Screw that. A little bit about the podcast and our, biz merch still for sale. And guess what? Drum roll, please.
What am I saying?
Tell them what new merch is coming.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you want me to say that or the fitness app. But guys, we have exciting news. We are getting the Future MILFs hats back.
Woo-hoo!
So exciting. And we're doing two different designs. We have the OG ones, which I'm obsessed with, but also another design, which we are going to keep secret until the launch. You guys will see them. You're going to be obsessed.
Yes. And trust me, that second Future MILF design hat, I'm going to be wearing it. All the time. And
just remember that merch is one of those things where it is in stock while it's in stock, and once it's out of stock, you may not be able to get it again. This is the only time, though, we'll be restocking a specific item, and that is these hats, because we just felt like not enough of you guys realized we launched them last time, and I'm obsessed with them. I wear it all the time, and I want you guys to be able to wrap them, so we're bringing that one back.
Yeah, we get comments basically every time we wear it. Where'd you get that hat? What is that? So on and so forth. So we thought we'd bring it back, but it's probably the only restock. The only way we do a restock of something is if it like sells out in the first day.
Yeah.
Then maybe we do a restock.
Mm-hmm.
But if that doesn't happen, then sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Anyways, but that and the fitness app, guys, we are so close to giving that launch date. I promise you. We hopped off a call yesterday with them. We're just finalizing some final details on our admin panel so that way we can program the workouts into the app, and then we'll get a launch date for you.
Yeah, it's just like the little last bit, like 100% for sure. I think it's going to be great because as you enter that holidays, New Year goals, New Year, new me side of your life, you know that like, okay, it's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas, like now I need to get my life in order. You guys will have it.
Yes, 100%.
Which
I
think is perfect timing.
Yeah. And there's no better feeling too, especially with all like New Year's type stuff coming around, to start it before the new year.
I posted about that.
Yeah. Like
I posted, I was like, this was like last week, I think. It was, I don't know when it was. It was like last week or a few days ago. I was like, it's becoming the fall. It's becoming the holidays where you're going to start thinking of that. January 1st can be your day one, or today could be, if you start today, it'll be your day 113.
Yeah. So get going, ladies.
Yeah, but don't worry. That'll be there for you when you're
I'm so excited.
that. And that wasn't even on purpose, guys. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to try to do it around that time. We've just been trying to get it done when it gets done.
I know.
But that's just going to work out for you guys because I know people are really in that state of mind like at the end of the year. But that's basically that. Make sure you follow along on Instagram. I've been making a lot of clips of like YouTube on Instagram. So our Instagram is like a little different now. We got some video on there.
I'm loving it.
It's a good time. Stay up to date on Instagram. And now a little bit about us.
You guys, this is the favorite part of the entire episode. I look forward to it every time.
It's my favorite part of the week.
I've gotten so much better at putting like a list on my phone of things that I want to talk about during the catch up, because months ago I wouldn't do that and I would forget and be like, damn it, like I wish I talked about this on the podcast. I really wanted to let you guys know how I was feeling about this certain situation, or this happened to me during the week, because I want to be like as open as I possibly can about my entire life to you guys, because you guys are my fam.
Yeah, same. I really feel that. I love podcasting. Like, I just realized I love podcasting so much, and it makes me happy to do it. And there's all these times where it's like, oh, maybe I can journal about this, and I just think I want to podcast about it.
Yeah.
That even it's made me think. I was like the other day I was just like, my mind was like racing. I was like, the way I just want to start like a secret other mini podcast of me rambling, because like all this stuff that I'm like, I just want to talk about this, and it has no place. Like, it's not related to this shit. Like, it's just random. I'm like, I could talk into a mic every single day. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. But let's start with, where should we start? The weekend? I feel like we always start with the weekend.
Yeah, we can start weekend because that's like chronological order from the last time they heard from us.
Yes, that's so true. So this past weekend, guys, you know, it's college football season. We got all the games going on. One of the biggest games, at least for UT, was against Alabama. So that was a rowdy weekend. And Taylor and I have entered this phase that you guys know. We don't drink as much right now. You know, we went through like the summer drinking a shit ton, and now I'm kind of like laying back, relaxing a little bit more with that. So we went to a bar in the middle of the day, Buford's, actually, on West 6, right? No. Yeah, West 6. I don't know why my compass was just off for a second. And let me tell you, I've never seen a bar so packed in my entire life. I was honestly surprised they let us in.
Me too. I'm definitely, whatever rule they have about capacity, like
surpassed.
That was one hell of a fire hazard.
Yeah, bad.
Like, really bad. Like, terrible. Like, definitely wrong. Definitely not correct. Definitely too many people in there. I don't know how those bartenders were surviving. Like, it was.
Oh, one of our friends worked there. Did I tell you how I texted Parker and I was like, hey, are you working? I texted him before we even got there at like 12, and we got there around like 1. And he texted me literally at 7 p.m. and goes, hey, sorry, I have not been on my phone. It's been the busiest day of my entire life. I'm like, I respond back. I'm like, I cannot even imagine it was like working through that.
Yeah, we didn't know it looked like that in there.
Yeah.
When we sent the text. Otherwise, probably would have been useless.
Yeah, I like,
send a text.
I wouldn't have texted him if I knew. Yeah. Like, I wasn't going to be able to find him.
So it was crazy, outrageous, hot, sweaty. I just like, college football is just so much. And like, I get doing that whole thing when you are a student. But like, if I'm not a student, why am I standing around crowded, sweaty, doing this whole thing?
Yeah. Honestly, though, like, I love any type of sporting event when the games are so close, though. Like, that game, like, I wish I could have been more into actually watching it. But during the last, like, 5-10 minutes of that game, when it was, like, pretty tight scoring, I was like, okay, like, this is intense. I actually really enjoy, like, watching this. But like Taylor said, watching it in a bar, when it's, like, sweaty, packed. It was, like, 95 degrees out. We were in an outdoor bar with over capacity, so I was like, I would rather be watching this like on my couch with some appetizers, close friends around, all that. But it took us over an hour to even find our friends at this bar.
Yeah, it was just too much for me, honestly, for a sporting event I don't care a lot about. If it was like my old college, I'd probably be interested. Like I just was so focused on like, I want the game to be over so people can leave and I can like breathe for a sec, that I didn't even care who won or who lost. But then we ended up leaving and going back to hang out with our friends. And I found a new find at Trader Joe's. What are they called? Hold on. I need to like do research because they were, I don't know.
Someone just commented on your TikTok saying, oh my God, is that the TikTok canned wine? I think they only have one. I think they only have like one type, because someone commented on your TikTok.
Oh, it's like a
Or no, they commented on my TikTok because I was holding it as a microphone.
It's called Simpler Wines. They're canned wines at Trader Joe's. Oh, they're not new. Wait. These articles are from 2017.
I feel like I've definitely seen them for a while.
They're at Trader Joe's. I got the peach one. I love peach wine. I'm like a peach wine connoisseur. I love peach wine. It's one of my favorite beverages. So I got the peach one, and they were so good. Just like sipped on one in like a half. I'm a slow drinker, and they just tasted so good. Like, I honestly, like, if we stayed there longer, probably would have drank them all because they were delicious. So highly recommend those wines from Trader Joe's. I literally told Derek was like, let me try it. And he was like, oh, those are dangerous. He was like, how much % alcohol? I was like, 8. And he was like, and I was like,
they're small cans.
They're small cans and they're good. Like, they're so good. But that's my vibe right now is like, there's no point in me trying to like, I'm not trying to commit to being sober, but I'm also like, to me, going out and buying drinks that taste bad and like taking shots just for the purpose of getting drunk and being like, this is kind of gross. Like, no, like if it tastes good and I like it, yeah, I'm going to drink it.
Yeah.
That wine is so good. But like, I'm not going to drink a seltzer I don't like just to get drunk, or like get a tequila soda that I think tastes like ass just to get drunk.
No, yeah. And actually, this is something that I wanted to stitch on TikTok. I'm actually gonna play it on the microphone right now. But this TikTok spoke to me, and I was like, obviously, I'm not in college, but I know this is like a college episode, so this kind of goes hand in hand. But ready?
Yeah, like, I saw that too.
I was like, holy shit, this is sitting so hardcore with me right now, because Taylor and I have been struggling to find girlfriends here in Austin that genuinely have the same interest in us. Yes, we have a good balance of like a few of our girlfriends that like go out, but I think what it is, and I said to Taylor, is that we're good influences on our girlfriends. Like, we're causing them not to be as fucking crazy as they should be. But we kind of need another side of that with our girlfriends. And I'm like, where are these girls? Like, where are they at?
Where are they? Where are they? We are definitely struggling because it's really hard to find people that are gonna find joy in doing things we like. To some people, it's their worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, and to us, it's fun and it's hard. You don't want to feel like the Debbie Downer when people are like, let's go, and we're like, no, we're going home.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm in my selfish era. I'm not staying out till 2 a.m. and getting drunk just because everyone else wants to. I'm going home.
Yeah.
Like, because exactly what that girl said in the TikTok, it tastes bad and it makes you feel like shit. I found that good balance of drinking what I think is good and drinking that will make me feel good, not feel bad. Like,
and be in my bed by midnight.
Not enough that'll make me feel bad, and not feeling bad that I'm like bored and having FOMO. Mm-hmm. That perfect little amount of just like, I'm included. This tastes good, but I'm not gonna feel bad in any type of way, and I'm gonna like be totally fine.
No, yeah, I definitely think, I hope there's a good amount of you guys listening right now that probably are feeling this way, where you feel lost and are like, I can't find friends, or I feel like I can't go out because I don't want to drink. Fuck it. Who cares what anyone says? We've been going out, and a lot of the times we have not been drinking, or I've been maybe drinking 1 or 2 drinks. First of all, sneak a drink in. I did this at one of the other bars. No, I'm dead ass. Like a non-alcoholic drink. So what are those? The kin
euphorics.
The kin euphoric drinks. I put one in my purse, and we got to a bar, and I asked for water at the bar, drank the water real quickly, and then went to the bathroom and then poured that drink into the cup. And then I was walking around the bar, and it looked like I had a beer in a cup. And it was so normal, and no one questioned me because they just assumed I was drinking. Whereas if I was maybe standing around with nothing in my hand, I probably would have gotten like 1 or 2 questions. But it's just, if that's going to help you feel a little bit more comfortable with not feeling like anyone's going to say anything to you, do it.
Yeah, so that's how we've been vibing. It's just like doing that and trying to find girlfriends. Finding girlfriends is so incredibly hard, babe. We need to go on like Bumble BFF.
I was on it, and I connected with a few people on it. And it's actually funny because one of our guy friends went on a Hinge date with one of the girls 2 weekends ago, and I was like, holy shit, like I matched with her on Hinge I matched with her on Bumble BFF. I'm like telling my guy friend, I'm like, please, like, bring her into the friend group, please.
Bring her around, please date her so they can be our friend. Yeah, we're telling our guy friends, we're like, please get girlfriends for the love of God, and make sure they're cool. Make sure they're cool so we can hang out with them, please.
No, and it's funny, you guys are ruthless on my Snapchat. You swipe up on every single one of the selfies I take with my guy friends, being like, is this the new boyfriend? I'm like, no. It's not. Is it too much to ask for some guy friends? God damn.
And it's like, we're trying to make girlfriends, guys. Like, it's just hard out here.
It's hard out here.
But other than that was a whole tangent. But that was Saturday. I forgot we were even doing a week catch up.
Yeah, I know.
We were just talking. Sunday, I posted a TikTok about this. Sunday, I'm in my like adult, like I just call it like me being like a wife, like cooking, cleaning, like shopping. Like I want to clean everything top to bottom. I want to grocery shop. I want to do my laundry. I want to vacuum the floors. I want to wipe off the windows. I want to wipe off the mirrors. I want to do it all.
All of it.
All of it. I want I want to be like, oh my God, I haven't sat down all day because I've literally just been like getting my shit done. And I love it.
No, I love it too. And the thing is it feels like special in a way. I know it sounds so cheesy, but like once you've finally come to that Sunday and you genuinely feel good when you wake up and you are able to accomplish so many things off your to-do list, it feels amazing.
And it's like so mindless. Like I wake up and I'm like, all I have to do today is play a podcast and get shit done. That's all I have to do today. And someone commented on my TikTok, because I made a TikTok about it, and they were like, I'm just curious, like as someone that works for yourself, like why, like do weekends still hold the same value to you? Like why still are weekends important?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, 2 reasons for this. One, I like a schedule. I can't just like, everyone else has weekends off. I like normal work hours. I'm going to work normal work hours. Like I'm going to try to be done by work around dinner time, and I'm not working on the weekends, like real work. Obviously I'm going to post like Instagram stories and take a picture, but like I'm not going to be like on my computer working, turning things down because I have to work, because it's the weekend. I'm not going to be focused on editing on a Sunday because it's the weekend and that's my cleaning, get other stuff done day. And I like having a schedule, and all of our friends work. So obviously if we're going to go out, it's not going to be on a Tuesday. They have jobs.
Yeah,
so.
I'm not going on a Tuesday. Hell no.
So yeah, obviously we could take that day on like a Thursday if we wanted to, but it doesn't hit the same. I like a Sunday. Also, my whole life I'm used to that schedule of school, and like it's been my whole life, so it just feels natural. But I just love that. I love putting in a podcast and just going all day on shit that needs to get done. I love it. It's like meditation because you don't do anything else and you're like, oh my God, it's 4 p.m. I just cleaned everything and like organized and like did all my laundry, and then you go to sleep and your sheets are fresh. Oh my God.
My go-to thing right now on the weekends has been going to a new coffee shop every weekend, and I've been loving it. I don't know what it is. It's just
it's life's simple pleasures.
It literally is life's simple pleasures. And you know what? I've been going to a new place every weekend, and I think by the end of the year, I told myself this, I'm going to do a ranking of like my top 10 favorite places to get a coffee in Austin. And I'm slowly but surely going through my list of places that I have been wanting to visit. One of them being Dutch Bros that we went to today.
Not a weekend, it's a Wednesday.
Yeah, it is a Wednesday, but this was a special treat because my Bure bag launched today. How did I forget to even talk about that?
Guys, I forgot to talk about that.
Yeah, I forgot about that for a second. Guys, if you are like, what the hell is Sam talking about right now? I have been working with Bure, which is a bag company. If you're not familiar with it, they do gym bags, duffel bags, backpacks, tote bags, you name it. And for the last year, I've been working on designing, collaborating with a bag with them, and we finally did it. So check it out on my Instagram. It should be up there now. The bag will actually launch a day before this goes live. So the 15th of September at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. While supplies last, so I don't know how long that's going to be, but I am just so happy it's finally out there because I have been keeping this a secret. Literally, this bag has been in my presence for maybe like 8 months now. And I have not been able to talk about it because of COVID. They've been having a hard issue with getting merch overseas, or merch, what am I saying? Product overseas. So finally, she's launched.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the first day we met in Miami, you told me that you were doing a bag with Bure.
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks before that. I had gotten off my first phone call with them where we mapped out the entire process.
Yeah. So like the first time literally we met in Miami, you told me you were doing this.
Yeah. And that was like, what, February of last year?
Almost 2 years ago.
Yeah. So I literally remember that phone call. Like, it was so crazy. I had, like 50,000 followers on Instagram. Like, nothing crazy. And to me, I thought it was crazy that, like, this big brand wanted to work with me. I was like, holy shit, hell yeah. Like, I'm excited for this. But it's just, I feel like I'm a different person now. Ever since, like, you were been saying this.
Yeah, I was telling Sam, because, like, when she first made it, she was very in. I mean, maybe some of you don't even know this because you're, like, newbies to the following, which I mean, still love you. Thanks for being here. But, like, Sam used to be, like, the bright colored, like, long sleeve shirt with the shorts. Like, everything was bright colored. Everything was, like, blue and red. Like, always blue and red to the gym. Like, always all these colors.
Yeah.
And, like, the bag was blue and red. And it was, like, yeah, Sam always wears, like, those colors. Like, that's why she made it those colors. And I'm like, wow, who is that girl?
Yeah. And the bun. I had the bun on the top of my head.
Yeah.
I was a different human being.
I was like the red and blue Sam.
I was a child. Well, I still am a child, but like
I feel that. But yeah, that's super exciting, super fun. I've like also kept like I feel like everyone knows, but yeah, they don't know.
Oh yeah, the amount of times where I've used the bag. I had to stop using the bag actually, like a few months ago because I was getting so many swipe ups and being like, "Sam, where's this bag from?" It's so cute. I'm like, I had to ignore all of you because I was like, I cannot expose myself yet.
Yeah.
So sorry that I ignored you if you asked where the bag was from. Now you know the answer.
Yeah, so that's out there now for the world to know. So did anything else?
No, we had to backtrack to Dutch Bros.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah, it's really good, guys. We got the caramel pumpkin creme brulee cold brew, and we got a shot of espresso on top. We got it dairy free, so we couldn't get like the cream topping on top, but it's still really good.
It's pretty fire. It's really good.
But that's pretty much been our week.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about that thing I told you that I saw on TikTok.
Yeah.
I just want to like mention it because it's been crazy to me that people are seeing this and not really thinking it's as crazy as I think it is. I think maybe it just got on like the right side of TikTok where
I was gonna say that.
Where no one's like,
yeah,
this is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. There's this thing. I'm just gonna tell you guys what it is. Do your own research. I think it's fascinating how insane it is. It's called the Ranch Malibu, and it's like $50,000, $40,000 or $50,000. Like this 3-week long thing where it's like a wellness health retreat, but you really just lose a bunch of weight and like don't eat like anything and walk like 12 miles a day, and your snack is like 5 almonds, and you do so much walking, and it's crazy. People lose like all this weight. And like big TikTokers and like celebrities do it. And I think there's one also in like another country. But like they go on these trips and they do it and they spend all of this money. And it's so absurd and wild. And I don't know how it's not like a bigger thing of how crazy it is.
Yeah.
I have no idea how it's not. I think the comment said $44,000 for like insane. 3 weeks of like not eating, and it's not even like like you have your phone and stuff, like the girls like that. So I don't get it at all, and I think it's crazy. And I've seen like this one girl make a bunch of videos about it and how she had a good time, but it's crazy. I need to do like more. I feel like there needs to be a documentary on this.
I think there should be too.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough information to even talk about it
either.
You just told me about it and I haven't even seen it on TikTok, which I'm sure I will now that we're talking about it, but still sounds really crazy.
Yeah, transformative fitness programs designed to promote weight loss. The Ranch acclaimed results-oriented fitness and wellness programs are designed to recalibrate the mind and body through intense fitness and wellness regimen paired with a highly structured plant-based nutritional diet. Yeah, see, they have in another country, they have the Ranch Italy, where you can do it in Italy. 8 days in Italy. This one says it starts at $9,000 per person if it's 2 people and $10,000 per person if it's a double room. So I don't know why someone commented.
Why would it be more money if it's more people?
No, it's less money.
You said 10,000 and 9,000 for
9,000 if it's like 2 of you going, and if it's 1 person, it's 10,000. So like,
oh, okay, I thought you said the other way around.
I don't know why someone commented $44,000. I don't know. Maybe I'm not seeing that on here. These same like 12,000 to 10,000. So I don't know. Don't quote me on anything. But regardless, that's super expensive. Like, regardless, right? Like, $12,000 is still insane. Like, insane. Oh my God. And there's like a schedule on here. Guys, look into it. It's crazy. It's wild. It's absolutely insane and no one's talking about it.
You know what we need to talk about?
What?
Is I don't know why. I just got so scared to say it, but no, I'm not scared to say it. Is my love life.
Oh God. I'm sick of this.
I know, I'm sick of it too, but I love making it into a nice little series with you guys because you guys are so invested in my love life. But I do want to say this. I have re-downloaded Hinge and I'm fully invested into this app. Like, I've never had so many matches on Hinge in my entire life because I don't use it.
Because it's fun. Like, why not get attention?
No,
you know what I mean?
No, literally, like, okay. This is a lot. Okay, so we're ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 matches right now. Like, I don't know if that's a lot. But they are doing such a great job when they message me. One of them was like, One of them said, "You look like a swole Sandra Bullock," and I was like, "Oh, I like this one. That one was facts."
One of the Hinge matches doesn't live here, but he's a super duper famous TikTok star. Sound off in the comments who you think it was in the Instagram post.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Guess who?
There was another one too. I didn't.
There
even
was
show
two.
you.
Guess who both of them were? Guess in the Instagram.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I guess when a lot of TikTokers like, is this a normal thing that like TikTokers or even like Instagram?
100%.
But they travel, and then while they travel, they're on Hinge.
100%. Because if they're famous, think about like this is a no-brainer to me. You're famous for being a good-looking guy. You can probably match with like 5 girls while you're there for the week, and
boys are gross.
And fuck all of them.
Boys are gross. Let's just say that it was one of Bryce Hall's friends. But I didn't know why he was here. And I was like, why is he here? And then I went to go stalk him. And then I saw he was here for like a photo shoot. And I was like, this is just weird. But anyways.
I like met up with him.
Oh my God, imagine.
For the pod.
And then you know what I had to do? You know, on Hinge, you can actually now, I don't know if this is a new update because I did not used to see it, but you can actually put in your profile what you're searching for. So I put in my profile that I'm searching for a long-term relationship. So no fuckboys better be matching with me, because if you're a fuckboy and you're gonna fuck with me, I'm gonna be pissed. Because I matched with somebody, and in his little profile, what he's searching for is a short-term relationship.
How do you search for a short-term? To me, you're either searching for one time, a non-committed, like type relationship, like kind
and
of.
This is actually the one that said swole Sandra Bullock. I was pissed about it.
What's a short-term relationship? Because to me, that's like I really want to be seriously with someone, but only for 6 months.
Yeah.
What does that mean? You know
what, Taylor? We actually have 5 unread messages right now, and I actually I have to go through them after this episode because my goal for the weekend is to go on at least like 2 Hinge dates, even if it's just like one drink, or if they meet us out while we're with all our friends.
It's already Wednesday.
I've been talking. I know we got to figure this out. I've been talking with this one named Brandon, and I want to go on a espresso martini date with him because I've been talking about how much I love espresso martinis and how much he loves going to West 6, and I was like, oh my God, like, so I mentioned a few places that I like to go and get espresso martinis.
When he loves going to West 6.
Oh my God, like this man's literally 27 years old and he loves going to West 6.
That's a red flag.
Red flag, bad.
He's like, I'm
benefit of the doubt though, he's a firefighter.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, right?
Oh, that's
firefighter.
Good. See, that's good. He added points back, but it's like, oh my God, like you could not be approaching 30 and spend your free time at like whiskey.
Yeah, but you don't know. He might be just going to like Rustic Tap, chilling with his bros.
Yeah, no, I'm just
like there's a lot on West 6.
I'm just being
like if you're going to the Ranch or Buford's, then I'm a little concerned.
I'm just a hater.
Or Cat's Pajamas.
I'm just a hater.
Yeah, I'm a hater too.
But it's like,
oh no, this one guy goes, I'm in Houston for a few weeks. Back though soon. No. Lame.
So other than that, I don't really have much else to say.
Yeah, neither do I. Other than the fact that I am not drinking as much and I am focusing on my love life.
Oh, I started a new morning routine. So I am literally so focused on myself right now. It's just absolutely like, it's just great. Like nothing can distract me from my goals is basically what I'm saying. Like I'm so just in it for me in this moment of my life. And my new morning routine is I wake up anywhere from like 6:30 to 7. Depends on the day, and then I go outside and I ice roll and I read my book and I drink water and the not sunset. What's it called? The sunrise is like still happening. Like the sun is already up, but the sky is all colors and my balcony is on the 3rd floor. So the sky is like pink and I get to read my book and ice roll for like 45 minutes. And it's magical. It's my favorite part of the day. It's like my peace. I leave my phone in my room and I just read on my balcony and it's, oh my God, it's so good. And then I read in the morning and at night so I can finish books faster now because I used to only read at night or like one time throughout the day and now I read twice throughout the day. And I'm posting book updates on my Instagram stories. So yeah, that's that. Now I'm done.
I would say I would share my morning routine with you guys, but I literally just filmed that this morning for YouTube and that will be up next week. It's not only my morning routine, but it's also my pre and post workout routine all in one. So if you guys are interested in that, go subscribe to the YouTube.
Yeah.
But let's get into the college life.
Yay!
this is like perfect timing. Like I said, everyone's going back to school. We got girls that maybe graduated or girls that are going into college. I don't know.
Middle of college.
We got it all, okay? Or we have girls that graduated years ago and are still self-reflecting on college.
I was going to say, sometimes I listen to podcasts and I have zero relation whatsoever to what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm like listening to the advice like it means anything to me.
Yeah. But we want to start off kind of with doing a little reflection on our college experience, and then we'll jump into our highs and lows of our college experience. So I guess I'll jump into it first. Do you want me to?
Yeah, mine's like pretty like in depth. You can go first.
Yeah, no, I got you. So basically, I went to LaSalle University in Boston. It is a Division III small school. It's in Newton, Massachusetts, and I really wanted to play college sports, but I didn't know at what degree I wanted to play, whether I wanted to be fully committed to it or if I wanted to be, committed, of course, but also put in full effort to like classes and friends and be able to work, because I know D1, if you're playing a college sport, like you are playing that college sport, that is your job. That is what you're going to school for. That is it. So I ended up picking D3. And my school was only 30 minutes from my hometown. So, I didn't have a car my freshman or sophomore year, but my junior, senior year, I did have a car. But it was just really easy for me to, go home on the weekends if I wanted to after a game or whatnot. But I went to school, played field hockey at LaSalle, and then luckily my coach for field hockey was also my coach for lacrosse. And she knew when she was recruiting me that I played lacrosse in high school. So she was like, hey, Sam, do you want to play lacrosse? I would make the transition for you really easy with getting you onto the team and all of that. And I was like, okay, whatever. This will be a great way for me to make more friends, which luckily I did because my really close girl friend group played lacrosse. So that was really helpful for me to find friends in college, was through my lacrosse team. Unfortunately, my field hockey team, it was more just kind of teammates, not really girls that I built really good friendships with, which is totally okay. You can have your friends and then you can have your teammates. You're not always going to click off field with the girls that are in your team. And so that was what I did from all the way up to my junior year. And then my junior year, I actually quit lacrosse because I just did not have the best experience of playing two sports, which I'll get into a little bit later. My relationship with food and exercise was extremely toxic, and I kind of knew that at the time, but I also really wanted to branch out and go abroad. So I quit lacrosse and I went abroad to Australia, which was the best decision I could have done for myself. I was also in a relationship all the way up until this point, and we broke up. So that was just kind of the pinpoint of Sam, you're going abroad. Fuck it. You're leaving nothing behind. You're going to the other side of the world by yourself. And so for about 6 months, I was in Australia, and then I came home and I played field hockey for my senior year. And we'll get in more detail as this episode goes on, but that's a little summary.
Okay, so for me, my college experience isn't necessarily over yet, but to just start, I went to the University of Florida, and Sam is going to go pee. I went to the University of Florida in Gainesville, Florida. It was my dream school since I was 8 years old. I worked my butt off in high school to get there. Super involved in everything, student government dance, 4.0 GPA, 5.0 weighted GPA. I was going all in to get into this school because it's a very competitive school, and I got in. Moved in the summer, so just a few weeks after I graduated, I moved into my dorm. And before that, actually, in May of my senior year, I auditioned for the University of Florida Dazzlers, the dance team. So at the football games, the girls that are dancing on the sidelines, I auditioned and went through the whole process, and I didn't make it. I got to right before the final cut. It was days and days of auditions, and people got cut every day. And I was in the very last group. Didn't make it, but it is what it is. And that was kind of the first thing that was okay, that kind of sucked because, I put in a lot of effort to do it, didn't make it, but it is what it is. It was still the summer, so I knew there was way more opportunities. And the summer was so boring, but I gave it the benefit of the doubt because it was summer. Summers on campus are empty because most people start in the fall. So I was whatever. Everyone's summer's going to be boring. Just wait till the fall. And then I rushed. UF, if you don't know, is a big SEC Southern school. It is Greek life. It is the mansions. It's all of it. If you're not in a frat or a sorority, like, there's definitely different areas of the school, but like for me and my personality, it's someone that should be in a frat or in a sorority to get the experience they want. And I rushed, and I went through the miserable process of rush. Rush on TikTok is so like, woohoo, rush. Yeah. It's miserable, okay? Like, it's miserable. And I know some girls, they do post like how it's so miserable and tiring. It's a lot at these big Southern schools, okay? Not to intimidate you if you're like about to do it or like doing it next year, but it fucking sucks. And I didn't get any houses. I got one house, but it's a new house, so they were accepting anybody. Like, it's a sorority, but I think they would have taken boys. They would have taken anyone because they just started, so they have to take anyone. Like, you could probably walk up and be like, hey, can I join? They'd be like, yeah, because they don't have members yet. So I got that one. And when I didn't get, like, I was in a room full of people in the basketball stadium in the O'Connell Center, thousands of girls, and everyone opens their little thing, and I didn't get the house I wanted, and I literally left in tears because everyone's so happy, and you go to the houses and everyone's like living their best life, and I left literally crying in tears, and that was when the downward spiral of my life happened, and I didn't do shit. I tried out for another dance club. I didn't make the first one that I tried out for, but that's fine because there's another one, and I just did that one. Didn't really make friends there, didn't really vibe with people, and just stayed to myself. And, you know, people were telling me, oh, put yourself out there more. And I'd say I put myself out there a lot. I auditioned for 2 dance teams. I rushed sororities. Like, I wasn't just sitting around doing nothing. Like, I tried. Like, that was like a lot of work. But I was just I was getting good grades, straight A student. And then I went home for COVID. I actually made the decision to transfer home for that semester because my mental health was so bad. But then I had to go home for COVID anyway, so it made no difference. Everyone was home. Went back, had a good time in the fall with my roommates. That was the first semester of college that I actually liked and felt like a college student where my social media was picking up. So I had this little side hobby. I had friends, but my friends were seniors and they graduated. So I left and dropped out. And now I want to start online classes in the spring. I should probably be able to graduate in 2 semesters with doing UF online because school comes really easy to me. It doesn't take a lot of time for me. So I think I can just crank out 2 semesters and be done with it. So yeah.
That's our stories. It's a lot. It really is a lot.
That's that in a nutshell.
Yeah. In a nutshell of like a few years of school. But yeah, my school did not have any sororities and I'm kind of thankful it didn't. Mm-hmm. So because I went to a small school, all the parties were like sport based. So if I was ever going to a party, I was going to a little cross party, which sport based, yes, but we didn't have an ice hockey team. We didn't have a football team. We didn't have any of that. So a lot of like the on campus activities were kind of small. So it always kind of forced me to go out to either other schools or to college bars. And from all the way up before I was 21, I was just using my bigs. So like for sports, we had bigs and littles. You know, sororities do like bigs and littles. So for sports, we did that. And my big looked just like me. Like the reason she picked me was because we looked alike from like the back.
Get that ID, baby.
Yeah, I know. So like when we were on the field together, like we looked alike and everything. So that's why she picked me. And I ended up getting her ID. So every time we would go out, I was just always going out with like the upperclassmen. And she actually didn't give me her ID, but she would always just like have someone give someone the ID, that person would come outside, that person would give me the ID, and then I would go in and I would hang out around them. But I would say like for my freshman and sophomore year, I was pretty lost on like who I was or the friends I was hanging around because it's a really big transition from going from your little like childhood friends to finding new friends, especially for someone like me that was jumping into college with my boyfriend from back home. So like I was so reliant on, you know, talking with this person every day, going home on the weekends or going up to his like military school up north because he went to a military school in Vermont. And I would literally drive like 3.5 hours to go up there and hang out with him and I would sneak in there. So a little backstory, he went to a military school. They were not allowed visitors. So I would literally drive up there just to be there for an overnight and I would sneak into his dorm room. They would try to like sneak me in and like all this stuff. And then I would when he would get called out at sunrise, I was like hiding in like the closet or like under his bed and shit, just so I could like hang out, and then I would leave and dip the next day and drive 3 hours back. So it wasn't like the best relationship. I was very reliant on him, especially with like finding friends. Like I didn't really open myself up to it. So if you're going into college and you have a high school sweetheart, flick him goodbye. No offense. But I think it will help you out a lot with finding friends in college. And I finally ended up my end of sophomore year, finding like a good group of girls that I kind of connected with. And we all ended up rooming together for my junior and senior year. And yeah,
so my freshman year, I went home quite a lot because I was absolutely miserable. Like, my depression was out of this world terrible. Like, I feel like I even blocked out like how bad it was, but it was really, really bad. Like, just, oh my God, it was like the lowest point of my life. I went home often. I didn't have a car, so there's like red coach buses, which are these buses like you buy a ticket for, it takes you all the way home. And they were miserable because they have to make stops, obviously. So instead of a 5-hour drive home, it was like 8 to 10 hours on a bus. And it was miserable. But I wanted to go home. I like needed to go home. I was literally miserable. So I'd go home literally like probably once a month. I did not have good roommates. I didn't mesh with anyone in my hall. And the hard part about UF was people are like, everyone's in the same boat. No one has friends yet. Which I know it's a massive school. Okay, there's thousands of people. I know a lot of people don't have friends yet, but a lot of people do. A lot of people were from South Florida. Most people that I met like were from South Florida. Like in a class, if it's like who's out of state, one person raised their hand. So many people were from within 2 hours of where I lived. And a lot of people even went to high schools that I knew of, but not my high school, so they weren't my good friends. A lot of people went to my middle school. A lot of people came in with a lot of people from their high school, which obviously not to say they're still friends to this day, but they had people. They went in with people from their high school. The people from my high school that weren't really my friends, and there was a very, very small amount of us. There was like 3 of us. And I didn't have anyone. I was alone. All of my friends stayed, and people really went in with their best friends. But my high school wasn't a very like strong academic school. A lot of people kind of stayed home for college. Not a lot of people went to schools like UF. So I was alone, and it was frustrating when people would tell me everyone's in the same boat. I was like, but they're not. All of these people are here with like their entire high school. Like so many of their high school were there because when you're from Miami, University of Florida and Florida State are like where you go to school. If you want to go to school, that's where people go. So it was just annoying because I was like, I get what you're saying, but I also don't, because I very much know that like this girl's walking around campus with 15 people from her high school.
Yeah.
Or people from her high school older than her are in the sororities, are in the fraternities. It's her friends because she's known them for 4 years. So I felt very just on the outs, completely on the outs. Like, because then once people rush, then when you're a freshman, you rush and people go all in on the sororities, which I don't blame them. You're trying to make friends in your sororities because that's like important to you. But it's like girls don't even want to do anything besides do the sorority thing.
Yeah.
They want nothing else but the sorority thing. So I spent every second alone. Every second, you guys. Like, it sounds crazy, but I would go the whole day and realize I didn't speak the whole day. Like, I didn't say words because I didn't talk to anyone. I would talk to David on the phone, and I literally didn't talk to anyone. It was miserable, and I found it hard. Like, I would look up people like talking about like on YouTube, like I dropped out or this and the other, and no one's situation ever seemed as like bad as mine. Like, not to make a pity party for myself, people would be like, I got in a sorority and I ended up not liking it. I'm like, okay, I didn't. I didn't get the sorority I wanted. Like, didn't happen. And it was so frustrating to hate it so much when it was like my dream school, but I was miserable. And it's such a big place that it looks like everyone has it all together, and obviously not everyone had it together, but it was
by no means.
No, but it was freaking hard.
Yeah.
It was really hard.
Like, kind of going off of, like, obviously that was, like, your lowest part. I kind of want to touch on, like, my lowest part of college. And that was my relationship with food and exercise, that was just a really dark place that I was in. And honestly, even like to this day, some people are very spiteful of the way I was in college because of the way I treated my own body. And the way you treat your body is the way that you end up going to treat the people around you. And like I had mentioned before, I overdid it on the exercise. I underate. The girls around me that weren't the best influences on that as well. Now, I don't know where their head was mentally, but a lot of the comments that girls always make when you're going out, you're going to be wearing a tight bodysuit, tight jeans, maybe you don't want to eat dinner, skip the dinner because you're drinking. Like, that was the type of atmosphere I was in. And with college sports, the mix of the two did not mesh well at all. I was overdoing it with the exercise. I was running on a turf field for 2 hours, and then after that, I would end up going to the gym to do more cardio. I was either doing 30 minutes on the bike or I was doing sprint intervals on the treadmill, and then I was doing abs after that. And I was doing that almost every single day. So my goddamn Apple Watch was saying I was burning like 2,000 calories a freaking day. Like, it was insane. And then the weekends would roll around, and the girls I was surrounding myself around at the time weren't super helpful on that. I just remember I'd go to the damn dining hall, and like they would be having toast for dinner, like literally 2 pieces of toast with butter. And I thought, okay, well, if they're doing that, I have to eat that as well. Like, that's all I'm going to have. I'm not going to have any protein. I'm not going to have anything, just toast, because in my head at the time, like I thought, okay, I'm going to have toast because it will help absorb the alcohol a little bit if I do get too drunk and I'm like, get sick in any way, like maybe the toast, the bread. Because did you ever go through that phase? Is like when you were really, really drunk in your dorm room, like all you had was like bread, and you would just like eat bread because like you thought the bread would absorb the alcohol and it would sober you up a little bit. That was just like something that a cycle that I would go through, is like, oh my God, like a loaf of bread, I'll just eat that when I'm really drunk because it's going to help absorb the alcohol. So I was just and at the time I thought this was so healthy too, because I was super skinny. I was like a size 00 in all my jeans and extra small in my bodysuits and my crop tops, and all my friends would be like, oh my God, like you're so healthy, you play a college sport, like you barely eat, you eat salads and maybe one slice of toast, like you skip breakfast, like that's so healthy. And so I thought in my head like what I was doing was perfectly fine, but then it ended up leading into not the best on my body in terms of like my mood. I was cold 24/7, like literally freezing everywhere I went. I just remember being shivering to the core. And I was just mean to like everyone around me. I didn't give anyone time of day because I didn't have the energy to give anyone time of day. And that ended up leading to, obviously now I have a platform, and post-graduation, when I had graduated, people would make these comments, oh, I don't deserve a platform because I was so bitchy in college and all this stuff. And I did a lot of self-reflecting on those comments that people would make about me in college, because it's like, I'm not that person anymore. I was treating my body so poorly, and that was just like really one of the darkest times in my life, was when I was severely under eating and just treating myself like crap, because it also did play a big role on the people in my life. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, my period of restriction went in the same time as me being insanely sad. There was mixed things about it, and I literally I'm getting like emotional thinking about it, and I don't want to, but I'm gonna keep it together. Like, there was 2 main focuses of it. One, I had a meal plan, so I'd eat at the dining hall. I was in a little dorm, didn't have a kitchen, so I'd eat at the dining hall, and it was hard. It was like going out to eat by yourself every day for every meal, which is difficult to do. Like, I had to get comfortable like sitting alone in the dining hall every day, which sucked. And then it got cold. It would get to like lows of like 30s in Gainesville, and let's say it'd be like rainy and cold. Okay, I had to go walk to get dinner, and it was like, okay, maybe I just won't. And I would sit there and like with a knife like eat some peanut butter out of the jar for dinner. Like, because I didn't want to go by myself and walk in the cold to go sit in a dining hall by myself. No, I didn't want to. Like, that sounded miserable. The other thing, oh my God, I'm literally going to get emotional.
Don't.
I'll cut this.
It's so relatable, though. There are going to be so many girls listening right now that are going through this too. Like, I even went through periods of going to the dining hall by myself. It's not a fun situation to be in at all, because then you feel like when you're walking into the dining hall, you have like all eyes on you.
100%.
And you feel like everyone's like, oh my God, look at that loser, like eating by yourself. But no, because you if you think about it, like if I was in the dining hall with maybe a few people, like teammates or whatever, I wouldn't look over at the person eating by themselves and be like, wow, what a loser.
Right.
If anything, I'm thinking to myself, wow, the fucking confidence to put them through that situation of eating by themselves.
Yeah. The other thing, besides not wanting to go to the fucking dining hall, was I was like, well, if I'm so sad and I hate everything else, at least I can be skinny.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, that's the one thing I can control, right? I was like, at least I could be skinny and be happy that I'm skinny because I have nothing else. So I'd like subject myself to panic attacks all the time. Because I would go to class and then be like, I'll have breakfast after class. And I would be so hungry. The campus was big, okay? Steps were crazy. I went to a massive school and I was on a 4th floor walk up. So my flights climbed were like 50 steps, 15,000 every day, okay? So I'd wait to eat breakfast and have panic attacks in class because I was so hungry. And I was like, I'm dizzy. I'm going to faint. And I've had panic attacks because I didn't eat, because I was like, I'll just eat like intermittent fasting, right? I'll just eat at like 10:30. Like, no, bitch, eat breakfast, because you're literally having panic attacks like every morning because you're not eating. So it was just, but then also the thought of going out anywhere made me sad and anxious. So I was a literal disaster.
Yeah. My group in college was very small. There was literally 3 of us. Like, it was me and 2 other girls. And even the chances of lining up my class schedule with their class schedule to even go to the dining hall at the same time, it was just not happening. Like, if I had the break to want to go to lunch, they probably had class. So what I would always do is I would go for breakfast with them in the morning, and I would bring like a little container, and I would get some extra things while I was at the dining hall for breakfast, and I would go back to my dining room or to my bedroom, and I would just make some sort of random ass lunch because I didn't want to go to the dining hall during lunch, because lunch was the peak hours at the dining hall. Like, everyone was there between classes because they didn't want to go back, and I just could not go there during lunchtime. So I would just make my own little thing in the in my place, which ended up causing me to not really eat, because like, what can you really make in your I keep saying my dining room. What can you really make in your dorm room when you don't have anything besides a fucking microwave and
maybe
a toaster?
Me. I sat there eating peanut butter out of the jar with a knife. You guys can, like, I have people that will vouch for me with this. I'd sit there and people would be like, go eat dinner. And I'm like, I have peanut butter.
Yeah.
And like, mind you, peanut butter is like high calorie, but that's not a meal.
Yeah,
like,
no.
You don't sit there licking peanut butter off a plastic knife for dinner.
Yeah. So obviously at the time, like, we're coming up with the excuses as to why we couldn't eat, or why I was so severely under eating, and why I was treating my body so poorly. But I kind of want to turn the roles a little bit to kind of help out anybody that's listening that feels like maybe they are in that situation and they feel like they cannot get themselves to go to the dining hall, or they can't make something for themselves in their dorm room, because we really want to like support you guys and educate you guys that you should be treating your bodies properly. And there are so many ways where you can eat food.
Yeah. I do want to touch on something. I know I said like there was a lot of times I did skip it, but there was a lot of like, I did go. There was just times where it was like harder to go and I didn't. And I'm not saying I ate enough when I did go, but that was more on a lack of nutritional knowledge, because there was a point I thought I was being really healthy.
Yeah.
Because I'd get like egg white omelets, okay? And I thought it was like the pinnacle of health. But I did go. And one thing that like made sense in my mind, it's kind of what you said when you were like, your schedule didn't line up with your friends. No one knows that you didn't sit with your friends for every other meal.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're just grabbing lunch and leaving. No one knows that you don't have like 20 people you sat with at breakfast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like, just because someone's alone doesn't mean, like, you know that you're alone all the time and you don't have friends, but no one else knows you're alone all the time and don't have friends. You could have literally, your friends could have just left.
Yeah.
You could have
the biggest social life outside of the dining hall.
And you just have to like study, so you went alone and worked. You know what I mean? That's another thing. Bring your laptop, get stuff done at the dining hall and just eat and do it. I got pretty used to it. Luckily, I was very lucky that my dorm was right next door to the dining hall, because I don't know if I would have gone that much if it wasn't. It was right next door. So, the little itty bitty walk when it was cold and rainy sucked, but it was small and it was doable. So, I was lucky. I lived right next door, so it was very easy for me, but my place did have to-go containers. Grabbing it to-go containers, super easy. But I did go. It would make me sad times, and sometimes when I felt in my grind era, because I got into a point where some of it was just routine, and go to the dining hall, study, homework, gym. That's all I would do. And I mean, I guess that's technically how to be like the best college student ever. All I did was like study, work out, and go to class. But I did try to get out of my dorm room. I went to the library, like, as much as sometimes, like I said, it sucked. Like, sometimes it did. When it's like, look at all these study groups. It's just me. And I said, like, I'm not going to say it was easy, but eventually I just got kind of used to it. And, like, I did the little things. I grabbed myself a Starbucks. I grabbed myself a smoothie. I went to the library by myself with my AirPods and got work done. Because at the end of the day, you're there to get your shit done. Like, at the end of the day. And I did go through it, but I also like took the time off that I needed, that I think helped. But like, you're just not alone if it sucks so bad, because like, I'm telling you, it was the worst months of my life. But you know, there's light.
There are two perspectives on this. There's the people that are probably feeling the way that we felt, feeling alone, which pop in those earpods, bring your laptop, get that fucking food, and get out. Like, there's nothing. But if you're on the other side and you feel like you see this girl that's maybe in your class all the time, I know this sounds so cheesy, but like, literally asking them if they want to sit with you, or if like they want to sit with you, it makes their fucking day. I've had that. I did have that happen to me quite a few times in college, when I had like someone from my class or whatnot, and I was maybe like sitting alone, or I was trying to find a place to go sit, and someone would kind of wave me over and be like, do you want to come sit with us? And it's just, not even like that group wasn't even friends. They were all just kind of maybe like classmates, and they weren't super close, but they were all just sitting together. Like, something like that makes such a big deal and a difference when it comes to being in the dining hall. So if you can do that for somebody, definitely do it. But in terms of making food in your dorm room, I didn't really do this until like my senior year. And
I didn't do that either. Sophomore year lived in an apartment,
so I didn't have anything. Like, juniors, every year we didn't have anything besides your microwave in my dorm room. So I bought an air fryer. I bought the Dash air fryer on Amazon. It is like $30 to $50. Can't remember. They may honestly have raised the prices because they've become so popular, but it is big enough where you can make your own single serving meal in there. And I would go to the grocery store and I would get a bunch of frozen supplies, put them in my freezer, and I would make meals from that. It was the biggest game changer when it actually came to me trying to make meals in my dorm room. If I, one, was super busy and could not get myself to get to the dining hall, or two, I was just being lazy, or it was fucking raining. I don't know. But get an air fryer. I know I don't technically legal to have in your dorm room, but just hide it when you do your little inspections.
Yeah, my roommate had one.
And you can get away with making so many meals in that thing.
All I did was I didn't even make oatmeal in my...
I made oatmeal every morning.
I got oatmeal at the dining hall. I ate at the dining hall for pretty much every meal, and the only things I had in my place was like maybe a little bit of like cereal or something, granola bars, popcorn, and peanut butter, as we said. And like LaCroix. Like, that's like what I had. I didn't really have a lot of stuff because I was on a full unlimited meal plan. So spending money at the grocery store was like kind of a waste. Like, I'd go to the grocery store for random stuff, like stuff to make like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, like stuff to have snacks. That's all I got at the grocery store was really snacks. And then I had the unlimited meal plan, and then also in my meal plan, every day you had a swipe to eat out. Like, you can go to a restaurant on campus for one
Yeah, we had
swipe.
that too.
So I'd eat a lot of Subway. I'd get, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I had a routine of getting an acai bowl before my psychology class. I'd get a coffee and an acai bowl. And like, those were like the best part of my days. Those were like my me time. I felt so good. I'd like put on my little outfit and go get my smoothie bowl and sit in the student union and then walk to my psychology class. And I would do stuff like that with my swipe.
Yeah, honestly, guys, I kind of wish I could have been like a good role model on what to do and what to follow in college, but my college experience was just not the healthiest. I was not super educated on nutrition or fitness by any means, but if I could look back on my college experience and say one or two things about it, I would say that I wish I took a nutrition class of some sort as my extra courses, because like with my degree I was able to pick like I think 3 classes throughout the 4 years that were just like kind of extra credits that I needed to take, and I wish I took some type of nutrition class to be educated on it. And another thing that I wish I did or even learned a little bit more about was just getting myself more out there in like the fitness industry type stuff, because when I was in college, I was following a lot of wellnessy girls that were like super clean, super organic, no processed food, like that type of stuff. But I wish I followed different types of content creators at the time when I was in college, because that would have helped me so much with kind of learning a little bit more of like how to treat my body, the types of foods I needed to be eating, because I didn't learn any of that until like my senior year when I started following like the KK Fit twins and Morgan Rose and just like all these girls that I looked up to so much and I learned so much from. Or Lucy Davis is another one I fucking admired her content, and I still do to this day, but she would literally, I remember when I was in college watching her content, she would do full days of eating and she would eat like, I think 6 to 8 pieces of bread throughout the entire day. She would have like 3 slices in breakfast. She would make
those like peanut butter and jelly toast,
yeah,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And I would be like, holy shit, how is she able to eat that much bread? Like, she was the queen of that content, eating that much bread. And that's why I loved her content.
Queen of bread.
Queen of bread. No, I'm not even kidding. She would have like the cinnamon raisin bread or like this other bread.
Yes, the cinnamon raisin bread. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So like once I started following those types of content creators, that's when it kind of a light turned on in my fucking brain that I needed to treat my body differently than what it was. So I'm sorry that I my college experience isn't something where you're like, oh my goodness, I wish I could follow Sam and Taylor's college experience step by step.
If you're following,
this is the opposite. Like, do not follow our college experience.
Well, here's the thing. What I think, one, I think it's hilarious that seeing a girl eat bread on the internet is like groundbreaking. I think that's absolutely hilarious. 2, I think the reason I'm so passionate about sharing my college experience, and I feel like every time I talk about it, I share more and more, because as you see, I literally almost started crying, and like I can get into more and more, but I physically can't talk about it. I like trauma blocked it out, and I will start crying. Anyways, it's just because I felt like I was the only one, truly. And I know if you feel like you're the only one, you're not, because I promise you, I was deep in the worst months of my entire life. So I just like people to know it's okay. And there's nothing that I think I could have done differently. Like I said, like I auditioned for 2 dance teams. I rushed a sorority. I joined a dance team and didn't like find my people there. Like I did what I was supposed to do. Like I did more than people that just came in with their high school friends and just were lucky to have friends. Like I did more things than they did.
Bro,
because I was out there and I ate at the dining hall and I did what I was supposed to do. So it it freaking sucked. And then I did have that one good semester. I mean, good is a stretch. I was in therapy. I was still going through it. That's when I got prescribed like antidepressants. We weren't perfect, but I was better. That's when I was like, my fitness page was more serious. So you can scroll all the way down and see that content. That was that era of me. And that was fine. But then, like I said, my roommates left me. So
I was just going to say, like, you tried everything. You did everything. Even for me, when I was in my, like, I'm not saying that this is possible for everyone, but when I was in like my darkest space during my 4 years of college, I literally dropped everything and just went across the country. Like I studied abroad. Like this is literally like I was in the pits of just either needing to give up one of my sports because I was so fucking fixated on like being active and like exercise. And I also went through a horrible breakup with an ex-boyfriend that I had been dating for like 3+ years, like that I thought was like the love of my life and all this stuff. And I thought if I broke up with my ex-boyfriend, like I had no friends anymore because my friends from home were a part of like the same friend group as my ex. And even till this day, like when I go home for break and everything or holidays, I'm hanging around my ex because my ex was in my friend group. So it was definitely a hard like situation, but I fully just dropped everything and went across the country. And I think that was
across the world.
Across the world, yes. Across the world. I went to Australia. And I think that was like the best thing I could have done for myself because I learned so much about myself. I introduced myself to a new culture of food and people and new people that I had to express myself to. Like nothing's crazier than having to be across the world, literally 14-hour time difference, and open yourself up to strangers. Right. And like when I was able to do that, I just learned so much about food and the way you need to treat your body and all this stuff. So just putting yourself in different situations can help you a lot with kind of figuring out who you are, getting out of like those really dark places. And for me, that's what it was.
Obviously, this is less drastic of a move, but I feel like my equivalent was me moving here.
Yeah.
Like, I dropped what I was doing and, like, came here.
You just need out sometimes of, like, that
Get out
atmosphere.
of that environment.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like, people are like, stick it out. Like, you can do it. Like, obviously, like, you finish school, so it's different. Like, studying abroad is, like, different.
Yeah.
But, like, if you need to, like, transfer. Like, you're not legally bound to, like, it's not like if you transferred, like, the university is gonna, like, leave. Like, you don't have to stay.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was such a failure with that semester wanting to transfer home. And it's like, why? Why? What? It literally doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter at all.
No, it doesn't.
Like,
you think, and another thing too is like you feel like you're such a pity party to your parents too when you go to them saying you want to either transfer or you want to go abroad because you just want to get out of the atmosphere you're in. But in reality, like it's not that big of a deal. Like it's not that hard to get yourself out of a situation.
Also, if you're someone like me who this was like you're at your dream school, you worked your ass off to be there, right? You did great on the SAT. Like a lot that was keeping me so stuck to the idea and so sad was how much I wanted it and how much work I put in to be there. And everyone knew I wanted to go to UF and I was so excited. And the day I got into UF, I cried and I had a party at my house. Like it was my dream. And a lot of holding on and that guilt and that sadness was this was supposed to be my dream and it all went to shit. But it's like your past feelings of something don't have to dictate like if you stay or what you do about it, if that makes sense. Like I didn't have to be as sad just because like it was my dream and I worked so hard. Like who cares?
Yeah, because
at the end of the day, like me taking the SAT, like I haven't thought about that once since. So
yeah.
Who cares?
Speaking of SAT, let's fucking talk about for a second the academics, because we have two different perspectives, okay? I'm the dumbass of the friends, and she's the smarty of the friends when it comes to books and shit. And I get asked all the time from you guys advice on how to stay on top of academics and everything, but I really want to normalize, which Taylor's gonna be so against this right now, normalize just going with the fucking flow of college. Like, even parents listening or anyone maybe listening, this is such bad advice, but like no freaking job application is going to be asking you for your goddamn GPA or your grades in your classes. Get that damn degree and move on. And I promise you, no one's going to be looking at you and being like, what was your GPA? Like, no, they're not going to ask you what your damn GPA was. I put my GPA, which my GPA in college, like, wasn't even that good, but I put it in my resume. And I remember because it was part of my senior project to make a portfolio for post-grad. And I remember putting my resume in there and my professor looked at me and goes, why is that in there? You don't need that in there. And I was like, wait, really? Like, they don't care about my GPA? They're like, yeah, no one's going to be really asking you for your GPA. So what I did was go with the flow and half-assed a lot of my work, but hey, I got that degree. So
yeah, I actually do feel the same way as you. Like you are going to do, like, I did absolutely horrid in my accounting class. Okay, I ended up passing. I don't know how. Her grading scale just worked in my favor, but I failed every test. So I guess I just did my homework and that got me through. But I failed every test. I was so bad at it. And there was classes that were obviously like hard to me, but like I'm not good at, like, naturally good at school. Like I'm like a student type person. But when you get into college, if that was you in high school, it is going to be different. Like, it was hard for me to be like, I might fail this accounting class. Like, when I took that final and got a D on it, I was like, shit. I got like a 72 in the class. So shout out for her not failing me. But it's like, even if you do fail the class, like, you have to think, what is worst case scenario? You redo it next semester. And that is worst case scenario, is you redo it next semester. I know there's also, for GPA stuff, it can be really hard because if you're on some type of scholarship or financial aid, you need to keep a certain GPA.
Yeah, same with sports. Like I had to keep
right.
a certain
You have
GPA.
To keep a GPA, but for the most part, you probably can. Okay, but what I'm saying is, it's not your life is not going to collapse in front of you. Like, you're not gonna die. Like, you're gonna be okay. And professors don't want you to fail. And if you have a professor like that, they suck at their job.
Oh, there's some Grinches. What is it?
Grinch.
Yeah, is it a Grinch?
Yeah, like
there are Grinches out
that
there.
Hates Christmas.
Yeah,
but like they don't want you to fail. Like my professors at UF were outstanding. Honestly, the best part of my UF experience was probably my classes. My professors were amazing. I really enjoyed my classes, even the hard ones. But it's going to be okay. I remember my psychology teacher kind of started out the class by telling us how he used to go to this like community college, I think, and he flunked out. And now he's a professor at a top 5 public university of the nation. And it's like, because it didn't fucking matter. Like, yeah, he had to go back to school and like fix it. But like, he finished. Yeah. And it's like, you don't have to go down a normal path either. Like, I basically dropped out, but I guess dropped out isn't the right word because I want to finish online. So I guess I took a break, right? Who cares? Like, I'll finish if I finish in the summer like I want to, that's finishing 1 semester late. Who the fuck cares? Like, in the grade, like, when will that 1 semester difference like affect your life? Even if it's a 10-year difference, even if you're like, I was supposed to graduate at 22 and now I'm 32, and you want to like finish, or you want to like retake those classes because like you failed them. Like, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. And every college has such a big support system with that. Like, if you need the extra help, get the extra help if you really need it.
100%.
Like, but okay, I will say this. I had an IEP in high school. So I was on an IEP and I was going into college, continued on my IEP. And at the time, going into college as a freshman on an IEP, that's the most embarrassing thing possible. Like, in my head, I'm like, I'm the idiot. I'm the loser that's on this IEP that has to go to the library and take these extra classes with this tutor. And like, I hated it. Like, I literally would cry to my mom being like, Mom, I don't want to be on this IEP. This is so embarrassing. I don't want to do this. But in reality, looking back on it, like, if I really needed that extra help with that tutor, like, I could have taken full advantage of it, which my freshman year, I ended up getting off the IEP because as a college athlete on my IEP, I had to leave practice to go to these study classes, and I didn't want to do that. Like, why would I ever want to leave practice, my like 1 social hour?
Why would I ever want to learn at school? Ew.
Yeah, like, why would I want to ever do that? So I actually ended up my first semester of my freshman year getting off my IEP and no longer having that support system. But like, if I needed it, it would have been there. So like, just remember that there are those opportunities. There's study groups. There's everything you could possibly need.
Every teacher that I had some sort of after hours. Yeah. Like, either if it was office hours, I think they all called them office hours. Yeah. Yeah. Like office hours, or right before a test. Hey, we're doing a test review Tuesday at 8 p.m. Go. Go to it. Like, things like that. And like, maybe you're like, is it weird to go? Do people go to those? Yes, people go to those. Most people go to them. And ask questions and talk to your professor. Like I said, most professors do not want you to fail. The best kind of professors to get, I was about to say, are the ones that just graduated, but no, not them. Like, I feel like, or no, I guess some of them are cool too. Because there could be a difference. Some people that just graduated know what they're going through, know what you're going through, so they want to help. And then some professors that just graduated think that they need to be like super stern because they like just got the job. Yeah. So that can go either way. But like, professors want to help. A lot of them are so passionate about what they do that it would make their day for you to come ask them about it. Because they want to teach, they want you to learn, they love what they're talking about. So it really doesn't hurt to like ask for help when you need it, whether it's like an issue with a deadline, studying for a test, whatever it is, like talk to them.
Yeah, but also at the same time, like, I'm the worst influence.
You're like, fuck it.
Do you hear the doorbell?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Someone knocked on the door.
Should we check?
No, it's okay.
Was it locked?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're about to get robbed. Anyways, but like, another side to it is like, you can totally show up to your class with AirPods in, hair covering the AirPods so the professor doesn't know, and get away with just getting your attendance for the day. Like, I had this one art history class. I actually had art history every year. We had art history 1, art history 2, art history 3, and then like some other like type of art history in my senior year, but it wasn't called art history. It was just something stupid. But I'm like, why do I need to know who made this piece of art in like 1960? Like, I don't need to know this information, and it's not going to help me down the road when I have my job. Like, some of these classes were so stupid and pointless, and I just felt like I was wasting my time. So it's totally okay, and it's totally normal to show up wearing your AirPods. You can open up your laptop. Oh my God, the amount of online shopping I would do in college was ridiculous. I would be scrolling on my laptop because we would need our laptops open for something. And I would have my laptop open, and I would be on Princess Polly or Pretty Little Things, just browsing away at what their new selections from their new like drop was. Okay, I never really paid attention to a lot of my classes, and here I am still using my degree with our graphics on our Instagrams and our YouTube channel and all of that. So don't take it too serious. I know a lot of you guys can get really stressed out of like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna like, I promise you, everything in life is not that deep.
Yes, I did the same thing. Those giant lecture halls, let me tell you, sometimes it's stupid. And like, you just got to be smart enough to know, do I need to listen to this or do I not? Because you have a lot going on. You're a person. Take the break, get your attendance, so show up and just vibe out. I had this class, we were all required to take it, like 300 people in a lecture. And it was literally just like what I was doing on my phone, if you're watching on YouTube, was trying to find the name of the class because I don't remember and it's going to drive me nuts. But it was literally just like teaching you life lessons that you basically like give your opinion about. Like, there wasn't even right answers. It was so stupid. It was like turning everything into a deep lesson of like how to be a good person, because it was like your first year in college and like you need to like, I don't fucking know, it's dumb. And like that class, I was into watching I'd watch Stranger Things.
I'm not like, this is so bad that I'm being such a bad influence on college, but I hate to say it. It's like literally, why is it so expensive? Why is college so expensive?
You have to know what your goals are. If you are trying to go to grad school, you need the GPA, right? You're trying to get into grad school. You need GPAs. Like, if there's a goal you have and you're like, no, but I'm trying to do this and that requires a certain GPA, then go study, girlfriend.
Yeah.
But if you're just like graduating with the business degree, all is going to be well. Mm-hmm. And that's totally fine. Like, you're going to be okay.
You know what the most important part is? Most important part of college that I recommend to everyone is getting into internships at a young age. If it's a requirement at your college to get into internship at junior year, fuck it. No, do it. Start senior year. Period. Start your first internship senior year. The amount of internships I did, and I literally loved them, and it opened up so many doors for my jobs post-grad, which I didn't even like really talk about this, but like I was literally verbally given a full-time position as the Boston College football graphic designer after school, but obviously with COVID, everything hit the fan and they were not able to financially put on another job opportunity for someone post-grad. So I wasn't able to get the job opportunity, but I was working with Boston College football as their intern for 2 years, and that led to me being able to get the job opportunity post-grad. So if you start an internship junior year, fuck it, start it sophomore year. Get out there, even if it's something stupid and you're not even getting paid for it, do it because it's going to open up so many doors. That's the most important thing.
I would say that's actually good advice. try, not just in the internship realm, but before you stress about like a GPA, stress about like just doing enough that makes you happy and is going to put you in like a good place.
Nothing.
Like, join the club, do the internship, like go to class when you need to, go to the gym, like do that workout, like whatever it is, like do it, like do it and start doing it. Like it's like just time to figure out what you like, because like I said, I'm still going through that right now. Like I'm not done. I'm like, catch me maybe being a UF grad in the summer online. Like I'm not done by any means. And it's just like figuring out.
I've never learned so much in my life when it comes to like the real life experiences. Like real life experiences is where you learn the most, not sitting in that damn classroom learning from a old professor that doesn't know as much that you maybe need to know about your actual career. Like my career that I wanted at the time was graphic design. It was like the present graphics that were out there, like, you know, for like football advertisings. Like my biggest thing is I wanted to do sport advertisement for graphics. And like my old professor had no idea about any of that stupid stuff. Like they can't teach me. So getting out into that atmosphere, like I was applying to the New England Patriots, the Boston Bruins, like I was applying everywhere and trying to get like those like connections. And once I got the Boston College football, like I was so excited. So I learned so much in that atmosphere rather than sitting in my damn class. So get out there, whether it's like we talk about it all the time, like the friggin' soap industry. If you want to start up your own like little small business, like being an intern for someone that does soaps, like you're going to learn so much from them. So that way one day you can maybe own your own business or get into another field with that. Like that's the only way you're really going to learn.
Yeah, it's all just like finding yourself. Like the big point of it is finding yourself and like transitioning into being an adult. And if you're just like doing that, everything else is second. You're not going to remember anything else. You're going to remember the stuff that was fun, and you're going to remember the stuff that was like traumatizing as hell. But you're not going to remember like any test I studied for. Couldn't tell you what it was. Any essay I was doing, couldn't tell you what it was. Like it doesn't matter. Just like enjoy, be grateful for like the education. Like I had to look at my classes sometimes rather than like, oh, this is school. It's like, this is cool that I'm learning this. Like even classes that I was like, I'm not interested. I'm like, okay, well, this is cool that I'm learning this. Like this computer class kind of boring, but like now I know how to use Excel, and that's like cool. Or like this theater class, why do I need to know about theater? But it was a gen ed, and let me tell you, it was interesting as hell, and I had a great time, and I learned things about theater that I didn't know before. So just like everything's a learning opportunity. That's all it is. A big learning opportunity, no matter what route you go. Big old learning opportunity.
Yeah, that is facts. And I feel like I just talked about so much.
Oh yeah, we've been talking for a really long time.
I'm so hungry.
I'm starving.
I can't wait to make food.
I'm like nauseous.
Me too. All right, guys, we are going to wrap this up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We will definitely do more parts of this. We have done more parts, like on like how to stay on track.
We were supposed to go into post-grad.
I know. I can't do it.
No, we're done.
I'm so hungry. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. We love y'all. Make sure to follow all of our profiles on all social medias.
Yeah.
But we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.